Hello everyone, welcome back to the Spooky Island YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be moving on to episode 6 of the Juvenile Justice show on Netflix. We kind of got the sight of the next kind of case which we'll be dealing with in this show, and it's to do with kind of the exams and about the information on the exams being leaked. We got a kind of example of how this is going to turn out when we saw one of the higher ups in the kind of law, basically his own son has something to do with this case. And something which again has to do with leaking the exams, and again I think this case will be completely different to what we've seen so far. Again, I don't know how stressful this one will be. I think it will be, again, like I've said, very different, just to see where it kind of sits for basically for the law in Korea, because again each system and each law works kind of differently depending where you are from. Like the US works very different to the UK and vice versa, and it's really interesting to see how different systems work and how each system kind of succeeds and where it kind of maybe doesn't succeed in different areas. So far again it's really interesting to see some of these cases, again coming from the fact that again these are true events. It is really sometimes quite shocking to see how these cases come to kind of an end, and how at the start it seems like it could be dealt with, then it turns into a completely other gear, like the other case where it led to something more serious. So yeah, let's just jump straight into episode 6 right now. Here we go.
검찰은 오늘 저녁 문건고등학교 집단 시험지 유출 사건과 관련해 교직원과 학부모들을 업무 방해 혐의로 연화지방법원에 불구속 기소했습니다. 이 집단 시험지 유출 사건은 부모의 재력과 명예 등 상위 3%에 꼽히는 자녀들만 특수동아리 정식 형사 재판으로 기소해 소년 형사 합의부에서 담당하기로 재정 합의 결정을 내렸습니다.
Yeah, because I'm guessing from the state of where the school is and being a very top school, it's a lot worse than being something which is not as higher up than them. This is terrible news for him as well, because he's going to be in a very difficult position. He's either going to be on his son's side or again the law. It's going to be interesting to see how he acts. Supreme Prosecutor. I would like to find out a little bit more of her story, because again she's the one who's kind of sacrificing herself for the law, and again we don't really know much about her herself and what she's been through. 5 years ago, so there's definitely something there which we still need to find out. The situation I find so far, from my first kind of view on this situation with the leaked papers and that, it's like again they're top 3% position in this school, so it's like one of them things where again you got to think of the pupils there and the students there. They're going to be also feeling a lot of pressure because of that, knowing that they have to succeed, or again maybe their parents won't be happy if they don't succeed, and because again there's a lot more responsibility and expectations being in there. So that might be a case of maybe they're not performing at their highest and they feel pressured at the fact they might not do well, and that's why they cheat at that level. But we'll guess we'll see. We'll see this play out. I feel like the answers are going to be all there, so we don't know. Is it a personal thing, or is it a case which just didn't end up going the way she wanted it? Like for example, the bloke, part of his upbringing and the way he got treated was the reason of why he wanted to go into law. So there might be something similar for her too. God, he's gonna be off the roof.
오늘 근처에 무슨 뺑소니 사고가 났나 봐. 그거 조사한다고.
just about when he was going to resign too after this. And the last case has got something which is going to lead back to him.
우리만 가만히 있으면
뭘 가만히 있어? 어떻게 가만히 있어? 내가 그 사건 담당 판사인데.
여보.
And this is where his choice will determine this case, I think.
이럴 줄도 모르고 뻔히 다 알고 있을 텐데 과연 교무부장이 가만히 있을까? 어? 내 선거 양심 품고 내 발목에서 잡는 순간
우리 신우 고3인데.
Oh my god. This is terrible. Both ways are terrible.
나도 오늘 사직서 냈어.
But again, there's a responsibility to it as well. He decided to do it and join this club. So I can't feel too bad for him, but
22년 복권 이상
this could ruin his career.
이게 아버지 마지막 재판이다. 하지 말라고 좀 하지 말지. 대체 왜? 남들 다 하니까 그래서 했다고. 그래서 우리가 지금
It's the thing, people sometimes will be like sheep. Some people are doing it, and then again they see people getting away with it, and it's about knowing what's right and what's wrong. It's like I wouldn't want to cheat myself. I don't think I could be in a position where I'd constantly be like, oh yeah, I deserve this. That's why I couldn't cheat. Oh my god, what's he gonna do? No idea. And the judge is not gonna miss a trick if he tries anything.
대학병원 교수, 연예인, 법조인까지 사건이 쉽지 않을 거야. 저번 연하 초동생 사건 때보다 압박도 더 심할 테고.
각오하고 있습니다.
힘들지 않을까? 내가 그 수석 부장님하고 상의해서 재배당 신청해볼게.
문제 없습니다.
그래?
He's trying. He's trying. He knows how this is gonna end.
그렇게 하는 걸로 하지.
And the judge seems to me a person who, as soon as she's on the case, she'll get it complete. And again, he probably knows that, yeah, it's just going to lead back to him. I think the only way for him to attempt to survive this situation, I know it's horrible, but it's to tamper with this case. But I think either way, it's a no-win situation. I think if you tamper with it, it leads back. It's going to make you look terrible, and all these 22 years of service, it's just going to be upside down in the pan. Like literally, it's going to be worthless because no one's going to believe his say. Because if he's willing to do that, you're not willing to trust his words. The only other way he hopes is to erase the fact that his kid had anything to do with this club. So difficult. So difficult. It's just, is he going to be the type of person who will try and pay off the person who knows, or I don't know with this guy. I've got more of a clearer image of the judge and the other guy who's working, the partner who's working with her, but him, with the conversations he's had with higher ups, he's a little bit, I don't know, it's difficult to say, but someone who possibly would bend the rules maybe a little.
잘 됐어요. 자수해요. 자수할게요.
신우야.
무슨 애가 그 모양이야? 뭐가 차라리 잘 돼? 이제 고3인데 자수하면 어쩌자는 건데? 말을 할 땐 임마 붙잡지 말고 죽으려거든. 너 혼자 나가서 죽을 새끼야.
Wow. Dad's really put himself over the kid, but it's just it's, at the end of the day, the position is he going to give up his career for his son? But is his son savable over this? Once again, who's going to accept someone like that who's leaked exams and cheating? It's just, oh God.
아 이거 섭섭해서 어떡해. 다른 사람 보라고 강부장만큼은 꼭 오래 입을 줄 알았는데. 강부장, 전개로 진출한다며. 놀래기는. 이제 온 대한민국 사람들이 다 아는데.
올해 10월로 예정된 보궐선거
Oh no.
이에 따라 연화지법은 이번 문광고등학교 집단 시험지 유출 사건을 마지막으로
판사님, 저 이것 좀 부장님 기사인데.
I'm surprised he didn't pass out then. And he's going to be stressed to the brim. Got the leader of the case having something to do with the problem of the very case. Ooh.
역시 강원종 판사님이십니다.
I feel like he's going to try and make a deal with this guy to clear it up.
이렇게 물이 들어왔을 때 힘껏 저어줘야 되는데. 판사님 판단이시죠.
예, 그렇습니다만.
그 사건만 잘 마무리하십시오. 그래서 분위기를 아예 우리 쪽으로 끌고 오는 겁니다. 마침 국회에서도 말이 많거든요. 자식 교육은 기본 중에 기본인데.
실하는 거 할 수 없습니다. 제가 보호자입니다. 저기 제 아들 있어요. 저는 제 아들 있다니까. 신호 어떻게 되는데? 말해야 할 거 아니야.
Oh. God. And now I was saying this was going to be something different.
빨간 물에 뛰어들었대. 경찰서 횡단보도에서.
Oh.
아무리 이해하려고 해도 이해할 수가 없어. 죽으려거든. 너 혼자 나가서 죽을 새끼야.
이제 속이 좀 시원하니?
Oh, this is horrible.
애 몰아세우니 이제 편해?
그게 왜 나 때문이야? 처음부터 그런 짓 하지 말았어야지. 그니까 공부 좀 못한 것 같아서.
네가 몰아세웠잖아. 걔가 왜 그랬겠어? 너한테 인정받으려고, 너한테 관심받고 싶어서. 북한 주는 비교. 하도 애들 무시하니까.
뭐? 야, 이성적이도 밥이 넘어가냐? 이 동생은 고1인데도요? 이거 올 1등급인데.
신우도 실수만 안 했으면 올해 1등급이었어.
실수도 실력이야. 아무짝에도 쓸모없는 거. 너한테 임마 부정한 게 뭐야? 집이 가난해서 뭐 등록금 걱정을 해. 어?
And what is he going to do after this? If he knows he can't do it and he feels pressured because like that, he's going to do something like he did. There's always a start to something.
그만해요, 여보. 네가 믿고요, 우리 신우.
Well, I've said about how the younger offenders should take responsibility, but this guy's got to take a bit of responsibility for himself. Like, again, I can't put the full blame onto the guy because, again, it was his son who made the decision to join the group, even if it wasn't for a long time. But it sure doesn't help if you had someone acting like that, because it makes you very upset and, again, panicky for your own future. You could just imagine how much pressure he had.
야, 너 무슨 말을
신우가 2년 넘게 몇 시에 자고 몇 시에 일어나는지 알긴 하니? 하루에 3시간도 못 자. 그것도 수면제 없으면 뭐 잠 못 들고. 걔도 목숨 걸었다고. 신호가 몇 번이나 바뀌는 동안 거기서 혼자 꼼짝 않고 있더래. 거기서 혼자 무슨 생각했을까? 혼자서 얼마나 무서웠을까?
아빠, 회사세요? 아빠, 저 오늘 시험 잘 쳤어요. 아빠 식사하셨어요? 아빠, 집에 늦게 오세요?
Not even one single reply.
아빠 오늘 늦으세요?
I think reality's kicked in for him. As a dad, he plays a big part.
당신이 민구야. 우리 신우.
It's horrible, like something like this, an accident, it's made him kind of think like this, like this was something which
힘들었다잖아.
kind of put him back on place of how kind of wrong he was
괴로웠다잖아.
for not kind of acknowledging his own son. And I think whatever the case is, and if he's doing well or not, it shouldn't be something which is left out as his job as a parent. And again, if he does make it through this, again, it's a situation where, again, he's lucky because in some cases it might be completely different as well. And it's like, it's quite difficult to do, is to, again, almost attempt to kill yourself. And it's horrible to think of how the state they were in to even contemplating doing that.
저희 학교가요, 학부모들이 가장 보내고 싶어하는 고등학교로 몇 년간 계속 1위였다가 지금은 5위 안에도 못 듭니다.
학교 말아먹으려고 작정됐어!
이 정도면 아무리 명문 사립고등학교라고 해도 휘청이는 건 한순간이거든요. 작년 처음 유출하기 전 그 해 재수생까지 포함해서 서울대로 2명밖에 못 보냈습니다. 그래서 만든 게 데카르트고요.
그럼 좀 가지고 돈으로 밀어줄 수 없으면 꿈도 못 꾸는 게 서울대라.
석현이, 이건 무조건 수능에 출제된다고 봐야 되는 거니까. 왜 그렇게 되는지 미분 가능성이 정의를 통해서 대답할 수 있는 석현이가 돼야 된다. 정말 중요해요.
네.
그런데 왜 아무도 거절하지 않았던 거죠? 그냥 하던 대로 하시면 되지 않습니까?
경쟁이잖아요. 1, 2점 차이로 전교 1등이 전교 10등 밖으로 밀려나는 거 한순간이에요, 판사님. 판사님이라면 거절할 수 있겠어요? 판사님, 지금 여기 피 튀기는 전쟁 중이랍니다. 전쟁 중. 학교는
Damn.
이미 내신 따는 입시 센터로
She is straight on how she feels. She is not holding back.
결론만 밀어주자. 뭐 그런 거 아니겠어요? 근데 재판은 언제까지 하죠? 1시간 뒤에 우리 석현이 영어 과외가 있어서 그러는데 보통 이런 건 집에 일찍 보내준다고 그러는데 아닙니까?
하지 않아요. 좀 반성한 척이라도 좀 하든가.
그러게 말이다. 야 근데 한편으로는
It's different. It's crazy how some people operate.
싶기도 하더라. 내 자식이 그래 공부를 잘하는데.
그러니까 그 마음.
I'm all down to people having their own opinion and that, but some things you hear is like, wow. they go to that lengths, but it's almost like a different world some of these kids work at, especially on if they're in this kind of high school area as well and position. It's a completely different playing field, so it's difficult to have a say.
아무튼 이 12년 공부 결과가 단 한 번의 시험으로 결정이 나니까 매년 터지는 수험생 자살 뉴스에 그래가지고
I think that's why she was so certain, is because again it is a different playing field to most positions, because again they are the top.
결국은 또 이 사달이 맞죠. 이게 뭐 바뀐다고 달라지겠나?
어떤 기준이요?
아무리 입시가 치열하고 절박하더라도 그래도 시험지 앞에서는 모두가 평등해야 한다는 상식.
Yeah, so then there's on the other side of the spectrum, you have the people who actually genuinely work hard, and imagine them getting picked by someone who's cheated. It's not fair. And I guess that person, if they knew that was the case, would get very frustrated too, and then it would almost make them want to do it because to get one step ahead of them. So it's like an effect, constant effect. And that's why I think some of the kids, where they shown of them joining the club like the others, like almost like sheep, because they didn't want to get left behind. A couple points to be 10th from first is just like that. That could be a loss to them and getting into like the college they want to.
저희 아들 거기 회원이었답니다.
He's come out clean. Cover it up, is he going to say? I thought he would be honest to him. The question is, what is he going to say back? Is it going to be what I expect?
문광고등학교 박인천 교무부장님. 앞만 보고 식사하세요. 저도 식사하러 왔으니까. 제 아들이 힘들어하고 있습니다. 그만 모든 걸 내려놓겠습니다.
그게 정말 최선일까요? 결론부터 말씀드리죠. 그래도 출마는 하셔야 합니다.
공명정대하게 이번 사건 재판할 겁니다. 그러니 부인하세요.
Unfortunately, I
법정에서 재판장이 질문하면은
thought this could be the case.
아니요. 답하시면 됩니다.
This could end up being something which could be really, really bad.
어떠한 사실도 더는 발설해서는 안 됩니다.
판사님은 아들을 지키세요. 전 당을 지키겠습니다.
God, that look. A lot is on the line, so, but it's like, this is just so wrong in so many ways.
오늘 이 자리에서 결정하지 않고 채택 여부를 향후에 말씀드릴까 하는데 다들 이들이
The fact he's there deeming this case as something which, again, he's trying to get justice out of, and again, he's part of it. It's so wrong, so wrong. And that's the question what I'm trying to ask myself is what would I do if I was in the same place, and I can't answer that because I don't know. What would you do if you're in the same position as him? I think I'd be quite similar to the case or the fact I feel like I'm cheating the system and that it's a full thing. I just don't know if I could personally do that. But then you're talking about your own blood, your own family, and kind of saving their lives too, because this is going to affect them probably the most for their future.
내 그동안 심판사를 지켜봐왔지만 나도 참는 데 한계가 있어.
여보, 신우 깨어났어. 조금 이따 일반 병실로 옮긴대.
안 들어가. 액자 깨진 거 있으니까 처리 좀.
She's going to work out something's a bit wrong. I know this guy's got angry before, but
그래도 판사님이 좀 심하셨어요. 가뜩이나 요즘 예민하신 것 같은데.
그러니까 왜?
나름 이유가 있으셨겠죠? 잠은 좀 자는 거야? 밥은 챙겨 먹고? 너 그러다가 죽어!
잊었나 본데. 이미 난 죽었어.
and we still don't know what that is. That part of her story, which we haven't found out.
아 솔직히 유출한 시험지 본 것도 아니고 그냥 대기 명단에 있었을 뿐인데 왜 제가 법정에서 해야 한대요?
그러게.
It's not the right way. You should approach
애초에 대기 명단에
yourself
쓰지
in the
말지
court.
그랬어?
마음대로 해요. 어차피 보호 사건은 끝날 거. 재수 없이 걸린 놈만 울었지.
Terrible attitude.
뭐라고? 지금 문광구에 연락해서 현재 재학 중인 학생들 명단, 생기부, 검찰에서 증거로 제시한 답안지 외에
Oh no.
모든 답안지 전부 다 보내라고 하세요.
전부 다요?
네,
This is going to lead back, I think.
서두르세요.
네.
Well, unless this list has been kind of tampered with. But if she sees a name there, she's going to link it back, I think, and to obviously the fact that how angry it got, and again that misunderstanding of, and the like point where she was like, "Why?"
구하라고 하셔가지고 구하긴 했는데 지금 이 자료들이 왜 필요한 건가요? 설마 그 아까 진술 때문 아니시죠?
Could end up being a lot more people involved.
그게 무슨 말씀이세요? 집단 시험지 유출 아이들이 더 있다니.
말 그대로야.
재수 없이 걸린 놈만 울었지.
And there was a lot who got caught.
뭐라고?
21명이 아니라고요. 그 시험지 보낼 애 더 있다고요.
그냥 믿고 맡겨두시면 됩니다. 24명이요. 어느 정도 성적이 돼야 들어오시는 데가 될 것 같습니다.
제가 분명히 들었어요. 그때 통화할 때
And one of them we know who they are.
총 24명이라고. 아 정확히 누구까지 모르겠는데 아무튼 애들 더 있어요. 아 경찰서에서 말했는데 아무도 제 말 안 믿어준다고요.
And this guy wants to take them all down with him. Because he feels like
말이 되는지 아닌지.
if I'm going down, you're coming down with me. And again, them 24 people are probably guaranteed very good results, which can take other people's positions.
있었던 집단 검찰까지 움직였을까? 근데 이상하지 않아? 어떻게 6명이 적어낸 오답이 토시 하나 안 틀리고 똑같을 수가 있지?
그게 무슨...
시험 출제 당시 한 번 수정하면서 본문 자체를 바꾼 적이 있었어. 루 작성한 학생 명단 파일을 압수했고 지금의
Because again, anyone involved in the situation will go down with them as well.
그리고
자네들이 여긴 무슨 일로?
큰아드님 사고 났다는 얘기 들었습니다. 늦었지만
딸이 놓친 소년이 더 있다는 제보를 받았습니다.
뭐라고?
최대한 줄여서 8명.
See, now he knows they're kind of onto him, so it's just like I feel like he's gonna have to interfere more, and he's gonna get himself more in trouble.
누가 그딴 소리를 내?
제 보호 사건 담당 소년이 진술했습니다.
이석현 사기 혐의로 처분받았다는 건 알고 하는 소리야?
네. 해당 처분 역시 이미 다 끝난 걸로 알고 있네요.
심판상 그게 문제야. 괜히 수사기관 옆에까지 선 넘지 말고
See, that's suspicious.
돌아들어가.
It's just making him seem quite suspicious.
여보. 누구? 그치만 이석현 진술대로 검찰이 놓친 학생이 더 있다면요.
뭐?
검찰 조사가 이루어지기 전 강신우 같은.
God, that was quick. She didn't really have to dig deep at all. All the stuff was there. The amazing thing is the fact that he's probably going to be in court himself. So going from one spectrum of being the one of the judge and then being the one who's an offender. In a way, 'cause he's lying. He's keeping all the information and behind about a culprit. It's quite a big thing. It'd be really intriguing to see how the next episode kind of deals with that case. Again, that case again was kind of different than the way I kind of expected. Again, it kind of really turned into the worst when we saw his son kind of just jump in front of a car, which is horrible to see. But it's something which can't be ignored. Again, there's situations like this, and it's something which can happen quite often. Again, especially in a place where they were obviously in a high school, and again going back to the point again, they have high expectations. But yeah, it's really interesting to see how the dad would kind of deal with the situation. It's difficult for him because of the fact he's in the law, but imagine the amount of times that would happen again, and how you would kind of feel and kind of think in that situation. It's just so difficult because again, it's not happening unless it's something which has happened to you. It's like it's something which is you can't really comprehend again until it's something which you go through and you don't really know what you would do. And again, to me, there wasn't really many options. So either you come clean and hope that there isn't any repercussions, or you try and cover it, which is terrible because again, it's lying. And it's unfair. Again, it's not being equal, and that's a big thing. And something like an exam, it has to be fair, or again, it means nothing. And again, a lot of people's work has just gone to waste. All that time they put in for exams and such is a waste because again, it's not a true system. But yeah, really, really interesting episode. And yes, that is episode 6 of the Juvenile Justice. And yeah, I will move on to the next episode, which will be episode 7 tomorrow. So yeah, I'm really, really looking forward to that episode, and yeah, see how it goes. But yeah, appreciate everyone for keeping along again with this series. We're almost near the end. But yeah, cheers everyone, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya.